All right, welcome back to the Box to Blizzard Bash series. This is going to be, I think, number 3, if I can count right. Yep. This is where we're going to talk about the actual chassis and going from old to new. So this is still that one that we took out of the box. Adam, what are we working on?
Right, so we're going to take this and we're going to make it, voila, this here.
Wow.
Quite a bit different. So this is actually my competition stock class, or nationals, chassis. So a few things you probably noticed right off the bat are the color of the chassis and the wheels. So let's talk about that a little bit. On this one here, these are the stock wheels. These are fun, really big, great for rock crawling, great for driving over other people and over the walls, trust me. So you don't want that. You want to go with a much smaller tire. So I like to use these guys here. So as you can see, this is a really nice, they're sticky. They got a good traction to them. This is a plastic rim inside. I do have a set of these. They look identical, but they are aluminum rims. I like those as well. They are the same exact hex pattern inside, so they bolt right up. You literally take the nut off the outside of this one with the tool that came included, stick this one on there, put the nut back on, and you've got new wheels. Now, of course, you can run it just like that. What I like to do is take this off of the bead and super glue it. You'll put super glue inside the rim, snap it all back together, let that dry for a night, and that will keep this from flying off the rim. One of the things you'll notice, here are the aluminum rims. On this one, I've got bead locks on there so these don't come off. I really like those aluminum rims. There's some more on the back. You can see 5-lug pattern. That's actually just a decoration. They still only have the one center bolt in there. So glue those suckers on there so they don't fly off. Wheels.
One tip that I have heard, when you were trying to glue to aluminum, scuff it up a little bit.
Scuff it up really good. And you'll usually do that by playing with the tires first and realizing that they keep flying off the rims and you're just spinning on top of concrete and gravel. It scuffs them up pretty good. So the next part is the chassis. There's a lot of different parts on the chassis that I like to change. But this, that's kind of tough to see like that. You can tell the difference. Of course, the wheels bring it lower, but this is actually called the low center of gravity chassis, the LCG. It's made by Traxxas as well. I think you can pick these up for like $30, $35. It's pretty simple to get both on. The only thing that you don't really have to be experienced to figure it out, but I didn't want to mess with it. Takes a little bit of looking. Is your servo for steering on your standard chassis is up here at the top, and it's got a little link underneath. That's how your steering bolt's up on there. For these, you actually pull all that off and it tucks underneath in one little package here. So you don't have to cut any wires or anything like that. It doesn't take any additional parts, but pay attention to how it's all put together. If your steering's acting goofy when you get this all together, you probably missed a step. There's a ton of videos out there that show you how to do that. One other pretty cool part, this is the stock rear chassis bumper. Again, they make those make us take them off. Thank you. So I like to run these little, this is just the same exact piece that comes on their stock, except this is an aftermarket RPM parts, a little tougher. Nice little block for your motor there. Again, it's still exposed on the ends. It's the reason why we designed the bodies the way we do, and we'll show you that in the next video. These are those aftermarket body mounts that we talked about. So they actually have little screw on.
And that makes it much easier when you have all that thickness of material.
Now you have a small stud sticking out, little threaded caps. Pop those right back on once you got your body on there. Put those together. That's a really nice tool to have as well. And everything else is pretty much stock on my national chassis except for the front bumper. This is technically a stock bumper. If you look at the difference between the two, mine is much wider and much thicker plastic than the one out of Cody's box. The difference here is this is the stock slash from Traxxas. This is the Raptor, Ford Raptor version. Still a slash from Traxxas. It comes with this bumper out of the box, so it is technically a stock slash bumper. Our rules say you have to use a stock slash bumper. Has to bolt on with no modifications whatsoever. You can buy these online for $12. It's a much better front bumper. even if you buy just the regular slash, go on eBay and spend the extra $12 and get this nice little guy. It bolts right on, and it's completely legal in all the competitions that we run because, again, it comes stock on some of the slashes, and it bolts on with no modifications. So I really like this front bumper, much wider. Helps protect them tires a little bit once your aluminum starts to fold in there. But other than that, we do like to run a LiPo battery. A nice thing about the new Traxxas is they have this XL5 ESC in there. That's the little computer. It automatically knows if you're using a LiPo battery versus just your regular power cell NIMH that comes with it. They're a little more expensive battery, but you get a ton of more time and life out of them. There are a lot of special requirements when you use those because they will explode if you do not take proper care of them. Buy a LiPo bag, put them in there. Make sure you don't store them in freezing cold temperatures, extreme heat, things like that. Always, always, always put them in a LiPo bag because if they do swell up, they can cause a fire in your house. We've had a lot of friends who unfortunately have lost their garages due to things like that. So please, 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 if you're going to use the cool batteries, buy the little baggie that is meant to go in it that's fire resistant. Other than that, everything on this chassis we will use. Suspension is fine. We like to adjust it a little bit, but give it some cool tilt.
And you'll see once we actually get to Blizzard Bash, this is the chassis that I'll be running on my national car,
Right.
and I won't be changing the gray part. You will see.
Cody likes to run the standard chassis. Like I said, I have the low center of gravity. These are some aftermarket rear chassis bumpers if you are allowed to use those. The mod class allows you to use them. Again, this is the one that comes with its stock. This is the one that comes aftermarket from RPM. It's meant to mount way up in the air like this so that it gives you the same design. The cool thing about it is these are reversible. You can flip them upside down, and it goes way lower to
damn
keep
near
people from
drag on
getting
the
underneath
ground.
you. Yeah. Some neat little tips and tricks like that not to forget. So tires, glue them, change your batteries out, and definitely go with these body mounts. These are a lot nicer. Front bumper. Other than that, you're looking at my national chassis and Cody's national chassis right there. So this is exactly what we will show up to Blizzard Bash with, just like that. So we're not cheating. We love showing up at the derbies and people go, don't worry about him. We've seen every step of the build. So.
Unless you go to some shows. Yeah, right?
So that's it. So I think in the next video, we're going to put one of our bodies on and show you what we came up with.
Appreciate you following along, as always.
Get goose.